Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here, as actually about to title today's video, here to talk about how to stop rim running in NBA 2K23. So, as a lot of you guys know, I'm sure your dispute and your anger about playing Park, in 3v3 especially, and 2v2 also, not to mention as well, is the people that either catch, run, dunk, or catch, drive, and kick, all types of stuff like that. The catch and run mechanics are ridiculous in this game, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen, not to mention just in general, the lack of getting body ups and clamps and stopping people from cutting and driving and stuff like that. And really my biggest dispute with this game from the beginning was the lack of being able to defend someone from the three while also protecting the paint, because chase downs aren't that good either. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to stop rim running in NBA 2K23. Now, there's two different definitions of rim running. There is my style that you're going to see in this game, which is me with 25 3-pointer, and my only source of offense is the paint. And that is the true definition of rim running. But what my definition is more is people who can shoot but choose not to. And the obvious answer here is probably back off them a little bit, but I want to go a little bit deeper than that. So first and foremost, I want to talk about overload sets where maybe they have a guy stuck on the wing in the corner. I want to talk about what you do on ball and off ball, or even in all three of these positions. So we'll just make this very simple. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff. But anyway, let's talk about everybody's role here from left to right. So we'll talk about Zeke first and foremost. Because he has two help defenders on his right, he should 100% not get beat to the left. It's something that is a little bit unspoken, and I didn't exactly say in this moment. We're not sweating in the park that hard or anything like that, but what I think your unspoken rule needs to be here is that you as a defender cannot get beat left because you have two help defenders on your right. You can get pinch help right here. Apollo in this situation, after I pinch off my defender, because there's bad spacing, can play between two defenders and really not have any problem just repositioning himself and sitting right here and just being in two areas at once between those two offensive players. But nonetheless, Zeke actually does get beat to the left, unfortunately. He gets a nice gather right here into a Euro dunk. And again, this is where I want to say, like, if Zeke is playing his left a little bit harder here, he can absolutely afford to, like, get beat right because there's so much help here. Whether it's a dropper from Apollo and then I can play two, or it's wing help and wing pinch from me and then Apollo can play two and give up back door. All that stuff included is a very valid option. So let's talk about what that actually does for you in terms of defending rim running. As you can see, Zeke in great position right here. What you want to do is avoid the catch and run to the left. He cannot do that catch and run to the left. You can see he does a triple threat to the right. Now I'm walling that off and getting those bumps right there. We're already taking away his lanes to the basket, whereas if I was just face guarding my guy and way over here, then obviously Zeke is at the mercy of this offensive player. And if he gets the clamp breakers, he gets any of those blow by animations or anything like that, if I'm not here on his right, Zeke, if he overplays that left way too hard, might just get drove by if I'm not here to help. So again, I mean, it's as simple as that. He literally is playing hands up defense and just gets gathered and then boom, Euro dunked to the left. So when it comes to overloads, you have to 100% absolutely not allow them to get to your weak side where you have no help defenders at all. Now, obviously, there's pick and roll stuff like this that you're going to see in the gameplay. I'm not here to talk about that so much. I don't think this classifies as rim running nearly at all, to be honest with you. But as you can see, Zeke kind of getting beat on the drive. We are once again in this little overload set, and I'm trying to shrink the floor. I'm forcing him to pass to my guy, and what you're going to see throughout the course of this game too is do not contest way too hard on these guys when you do force them to catch the ball, because what's going to happen is if I bait him into passing to my guy, and then he does pass to him, and then I contest way too hard and come way too tight to him, the catch and run speed boost that you get in this game is unreal. It's the same as that stop and go speed boost stuff, which is ridiculous. And it's just from a standing position, if you already have your stick preloaded to the right here, if I were to contest like way too hard, if he were to have catch and run right there, it would literally just lead to him running straight by me. And that's just how crazy the catch and run is. Again, you can see a little bit of a catch and run right there. And you're going to see so many people do it with the drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick. It's constant where people run three shooters, three people who can finish the ball pretty decent, and just constantly drive and kick everywhere. And once again, this is where I want to talk about too, the catch and run defending and actually staying alert to that, because I'm not playing super crazy for lanes right here. I am just ready when he catches the ball to know the fact that I'm playing his left a little bit right here, that I'm going to catch him to the right. Simple as that. It's really textbook. You have to just feel it. You have to know it. But I'm trying to make you guys alert to the idea of playing the catch and run and defending it. And instead of dropping way far down and then all of a sudden now you have to jump out to the three-point line and they're flying right by you. Or you're respecting their three way too high, when at the end of the day, a dunk is a dunk. It's a guaranteed bucket if it's wide open. a three-pointer is not guaranteed when wide open, especially depending on the skill level of the people you're playing. So right here, once again, I get actually beat up court a little bit. You can see off the catch, I am trying to reposition myself already to this baseline because I have no help to the baseline. But once again, it's overload again, so all my help defenders are to my right. So I cannot get beat to his left. I can't get beat baseline. I have to force him into the middle, albeit my two defenders are kind of tripping and, you know, inside each other, pause, but anyway. But off this, nonetheless, even if it was accidental, Zeke actually baits the jump shot pretty good right here, where once again, you have to make people shoot the ball a little bit in this ISO stuff. If you're getting hit with these little even sets where they're going to go one guy left corner, one guy right corner, you can also still like play some pretty good court shrinkage as well, depending on how tall you are when you're off ball defense. Or if you're trying to 3-up really high, what you could do is front the corners as well and give up the back doors. Nonetheless, though, that's not really what we're here to talk about, because we're here to talk about stopping the 2-point baskets. So obviously, playing back a little bit further is one of your first steps. When you can do that, you can bait them into the jump shots, and not to mention, hands-up defense is actually a lot better than a lot of you guys might think. Hands-up defense is actually very good at catching people when they drive into you. I'm not sure if you're going to believe me with this or not. I didn't believe it at first. My boy AK told me about this, about how his lockdowns in the stage do that really good when it comes to defending rim running, where if you play your hands-up defense and do not shoot your right stick up, it's going to make you jump at someone when you contest. I'm talking holding your hands up, and it's going to grab people and catch them a whole lot more on defense. You get way more bumpy. The problem is you move a little bit slower. But when you're defending someone in this situation, standing at about this range right here with your hands up is going to defend their jump shot really good, and also defend the potential threat of them just catching and running and driving at you. It's a really, really good defensive tactic. I highly recommend you guys try it, especially if you have good length and good like perimeter defense on your builds and stuff like that. Great defense by Zeke right there. Try and hit him on the outlet, but obviously I get a tip pass. It is what it is. All right, so then we get a turnover right here. Apollo tries to hit me on a pick and roll. They get back in transition. We're trying to clog up the paint, you know, just not let them get any takes right there. He low-key had a decent look at that one though, and we'll talk about maybe corner blitzes and just getting ready to drop and stuff like that. And just, you know, I think there's multiple different terms of blitzing. Blitzing on the wing means to send heat at the point guard while he's up top. Once again, like for instance right here, I can't afford to get beat right and I push him to the left where Zeke could blitz in that aspect. But what I also mean by blitzes is maybe the like point guard gets down to the basket and I go for the chase down. Someone off ball needs to know that if I go for that chase down, it's so obvious that the point guard is going to just go up with a close shot after, because he thinks that I as the defender am dead at that point to him, where if I go for that chase down, I'm just completely out to play. I'm being hypothetical with it. I'm not showcasing it in this possession or anything like that, but once again, I cannot get beat right. I'm taking away his right super hard. You can see we execute that really well. Apollo once again is doing really good on the interior D. Again, Zeke cannot afford to get beat left. He's pushing him right. I catch him. At that point, yes, it is a bad shot and he gets a hop jumper and stuff like that, but nonetheless, the principle stands. Zeke does not get beat left. I pick him up, and right here Zeke can either swing, or if I see him pass, I'm probably getting ready to jump and run. That is an unfortunate situation though, but it's 4 seconds left in the clock and he gets beat on the drive. So this just has to happen. Not to mention, Apollo could probably reposition himself a little bit right here where he maybe plays about in this area. It was hard to tell that I'm just going to drop fully off the wing right there though. But again, real on-the-fly adjustments where you could just have one defender guard two, and these overload sets are what's super important. We'll maybe talk a little bit about how to force people into overloads as well, debatably, especially if they run pick and pop. That's another thing that I would like to talk about too, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. Now, here's where we talk about the real threat of rim running, so to say. Now, I don't know how to guard me. I've never played against me. I've never played against anybody who even plays like me, for that matter, where all they do is just hunt to the basket. That shows how bad, quote unquote, the build is, though, by a lot of people's measure, is that the fact that I've never even played against it. So it's pretty funny to hear people talk about how my stuff is brain dead and so easy, yet nobody even does it. Nobody comes out here 25 three-pointer. But nonetheless, this right here, I don't know what to tell you guys. This would be tough. Like, dunk meter coming out, all that stuff. Dude's doing behind the backs, like snatch backs and stuff. Like right here, I would be thinking guard is right. Now I'm thinking guard is left. But oh wait, now he's doing a snatch back and the ball hand moves to the right hand, and now I'm not moving right enough. As you can see, like this defender is not cutting me off to the right good enough. But not to mention, if I was a little bit further back and he did cut me off to the right, I could just do another behind the back to the left and then load a dunk meter, and boom, I can constantly just flip my ball hand. And that's the key when it comes to slashing on offense, is to flip your ball hand and be really good at doing it. When you can do multiple different things to go from left hand to right hand to left hand to right hand, yet still give them the threat of running vertical and downhill, it's deadly stuff, bro. And then again, with the dunk timing and stuff like that with slash take, that's a tough one, man. So when it comes to real rim run defending, I think the truth is you have to meet them a little bit further out. Right here, you can see Zeke just gets beat down court. I mean, this is a pretty self-explanatory one. When it comes to defending the basket, you can't get too overzealous when it comes to your pursuit of defense. Not to mention, if you have a little bit of humility right here, you could also just tell your teammate, if you have comms, and you could talk to your teammates and stuff like that. Not everybody's blessed with that, so I do understand. But if you do have comms, you could also just tell them, if I'm in this position, that you're bailing out to this wing of mine right here, and I can just play the rim run, because at this point, Zeke cannot defend that. Like, chase downs are not good enough, not to mention he only has like 75 vert, 81 block, all types of stuff like that. So he's not getting that right there. So I end up kind of dropping, but we can't afford to just give up a wide open 3 right here if he ended up passing that. So again, Zeke just didn't bail out quick enough to that wing. If you're beat, you got to just tell your teammate you're beat, if you can do so. Because again, he could probably afford to just actually bail out to my wing right here, or corner for that matter, and I could stay down and drop. But this is all communication and chemistry and just knowing how you want to go about your teammates. Maybe you play with a smaller guard who has absolutely no block or anything like that at all, and you know that he's going to have to rotate, but then the defense maybe knows that he has to rotate too. Now, right here, obviously I'd like to keep taking it, but Zeke's feeling it. I'm not going to take the ball out of his hands, and as you can see, nice little fade off the screen right there, get the green. Now check this one out off the inbound. This is a good example. It's kind of the opposite way. I'm trying to play the inbound pass, but I fail. Now, as you can see, I'm completely out of this. I'm telling Zeke right now, literally right now, to take my guy and just bail out over to that right wing. Boom, he picks him up. Now he still gets beat though, and I see it and I drop. And as you can see, I have another thing to tell you guys about defending the rim that a lot of people don't talk about. And this is the unspoken thing that I think really gets lost in all my videos and stuff like that, because I've talked about this year to year to year to year. But unfortunately, the YouTube video only reaches so many people, and I've, made the video probably 4 different times, probably every single year since 2K20, and even 19 for that matter, actually. When you go for chase down blocks, and you go for just blocks in general, or you're defending the hoop, hold your Y button, hold your triangle button, whatever it is, hold your block button. I promise you, you will get better shot contest. I promise you. I've seen so many comments talking about it. I've never seen someone come back to the video and be like, this doesn't work. I do it myself every single time when I'm trying to protect the paint, and I know for a fact I'm going for a really aggressive block where I'm out of position. Try it. I promise you, you're gonna love it. But anyway, again, to kind of just run this one back, I get shredded right there. Zeke also just kind of lacks contact, and then boom, I get the 100% contest on him. And now we're coming out on the other end where I go for the slash ISO. Had a decent look, I feel like, but I wanted to kind of change things up. As you can see, get the white right there to go. That's another thing with the slashing meter. It is a little bit more forgiving than jump shots, but it's not as easy to green your dunk as it is your jump shot. Right here, really bad lack of communication between those two. And I just wanted to kind of record that because it's funny, because he tried to rim run me and it didn't work, and then I rim run him and it did work. And this is where the title right here, wouldn't let that happen to me though, comes into play. Because I don't struggle to defend people who slash very often. I don't struggle to defend people who rim run very often, in my opinion. I feel like I've developed a lot of good habits and kind of tactics, whether it's that hands-up defense to catch them on the wings, whether it's to jump early, whether it's to come out to them. What a lot of people don't understand either is if you get like slashed on, and we'll just give another little hypothetical right here. If you get slashed on and you're sitting down right here, no matter if you're 7'3", Hall of Fame anchor, 99 block, you're going to get dunked on. You're going to get laid on. It's a problem. You need to come out that paint further, like where Apollo is right here. He cuts him off and completely takes away that drive, completely takes away any stupid BS X button hold, just dunk meter opportunity he would ever even attempt right here. It won't work. If you body your defender up from this point right here, they are not going to dunk on you. It's 0 times out of 100, ever. But anyway, he ends up cutting him off. As you can see, goes for the spin jumper. Actually, a really killer spin jumper, like time to do it, but nonetheless, just ends up shooting a late 15% contest. And again, I'm coming out here with the slash ISO. Now, here's the thing that I'm sure a lot of you guys have ran into, and I want to tell you the reason why and all types of stuff like that included. Now, obviously, I hit him with a really good move right here. I mean, I hit him with the behind the back. This is where, once again, I'm talking about switching ball hand. I do behind the back to the left, snatch back to the right, and then boom, it puts it back into my left hand. And then I'm going to put it back in the right, and then hit the behind the back to the left. He's putting a blender right now. And it's so funny that people act like I don't dribble the ball in this game. Like I don't have my own style and way that I dribble the ball or anything like that. And just completely discredit it, hate it, whatever. I don't really care at the end of the day. But anyway, again, he's getting put in the blender. I get a really good take on this. I don't know why I even get kicked out of a dunk meter at this point. I probably should have just done a quick drop and just actually been, a basic basic little idiot that just like does it. But anyway, I go for a dunk meter. It's an open one. I get kicked out of it. Nonetheless, like I said, it's a pretty easy take. He gets a really good chase down opportunity, but fearless finisher is the reason that this goes in. And not to mention that I have slash take, 88 driving layup. When I have slash take, it's boosted to 96. I have 99 driving dunk with, again, gold fearless finisher. It goes hard. It's a really good badge. So just keep in mind that is kind of the reason for that going. Right here, once again, I get the catch on him. I get the cutoff. Zeke's going to get catch and run again. Now, this is where, once again, it's not great defense by him, but it works. It's good enough. So he ends up in a great area where he thinks he has a catch and run dunk. Now, Zeke ends up getting a good body up animation. Very lucky, I must say, too. But nonetheless, he is bodying him up from extremely far away. If he was doing that exact same thing and he pressed his X button right here and Zeke was also right here, then he would just dunk it. Probably 10 times out of 10. But again, Zeke gets a nice little body up. I also plan to drop right here, too. And maybe Apollo will fly over here. Who knows? But nonetheless, when people are rim running you, defend the hoop. Drop. Like rotate, all types of stuff like that. Make it harder for them to actually play the game. Make them shoot the ball. So anyway, he gets stuck in some floater animation, ends up getting the offensive rebound and kicks it out to his teammate. So it is what it is. I would say if you want to really get on some comp stuff, you can kind of time things out a little bit. Someone can go for the contest and someone go for the rebound. Like Zeke right here probably shouldn't be able to get the board, if we're being honest. He just was a little bit out of position, so it is what it is. And again, ends up with a wide open three-pointer over there off the O board. I would be lying if I said I didn't have a couple of those in my time playing the game as well, because I have 94 offensive rebound, and I definitely end up near the hoop pretty often too. So just keep that in mind. I mean, I've seen it plenty of times where I get kicked out of a, like, you know, Euro attempt or anything like that. You can see nice bump right there. But, you know, get kicked out of a Euro attempt or just a spin lay attempt or anything like that, and then I can still track down my own offensive rebound because it's plenty of fun. Right here, you can see he also goes for a Euro. I mean, once again, you got to make them shoot the ball. I mean, these dudes have taken 2 3-point attempts all game, so why wouldn't I do this? Why wouldn't I come down and drop if Zeke looks like he's beat? And I'm cutting him off really good. If he went for an X button dunk, I could easily just press my Y right there. He goes for the Euro like he did earlier and thought he could get that Euro dunk because, again, he thought Zeke was the only one in the picture. So why wouldn't I do that? Again, if you look at their stats, they've taken 2 3-pointers. So have we, but obviously we're a little bit more efficient on the 2-point takes. I mean, as you can see, it's 8 for 9 versus 4 for 10 total, and also 2 turnovers. And weird because they don't actually have any turnovers in their stat sheet, but I don't know. It's probably some shot clock stuff. Anyway, my whole point of this video that I wanted to give you guys is a couple tips talking about how to defend the catch and run spammers, the just 3-point threats that end up giving you some problems. Again, you know how easy it is? You know how much easier it is for this guy to defend me when he knows I can't shoot the ball? I mean, like, I think some people really discredit my style a lot and just call it rim running and call it like what it is because everybody else is just doing this catch, run, kick out, catch, run, kick out, all types of stuff like that. Whereas me, I'm really like obviously secluded to just scoring in the paint. So when I do these little takes right here, it's with one thing in mind: get to the hoop. And the defenders still can't do anything about it because I just have kind of mastered my style, if I'm going to be completely honest. But I would love to try to defend myself. If you guys have my build, if you guys think you play like me as well, come pull up on me. I would love to try and play against me. I would love to see it because I do believe I have some pretty good tactics as to how I would defend myself. If I were defending me, I would definitely get up on me and not let me just drive to the hoop and just go wherever I want with it. When people sit like around right here or even like free throw line area, it makes it so easy for me to read defenders. You need to actually like get up on me and treat me like a little bit of a shooter. I know it sounds dumb, but that's where I feel most uncomfortable is if people are actually harassing me on ball. I don't really do a whole lot of stop and go spam. I don't do a lot of like stuff like that. When I can get downhill and start doing my behind the backs and crossovers to start flipping my ball hand and stuff, and you are down here at the mercy of whatever moves I'm doing. And if you're way too high, I'll hit you with the Euro and stuff like that, or the hop dunks, whatever the case may be. Or if you're like around here and I just get those like little runs past you, I'll probably just sit there and wait for you to go to the chase down, and then boom, I just go up the standing dunk. And if you're way too low, then it's just a contact too. So that's where I'm saying, like I said, I would love to play against myself as well. And right here you can see throwing the lob to Zeke. We're actually going to set up for a triple lob or a double lob right here, which is ironic because it's actually the easiest thing to do as a finisher. You don't even have to time these. Look at this. I don't even get a timing on it. It just goes, which is crazy and stupid. But anyway, 16 points. Literally 8 for 8. I don't even miss a single shot, and at the end of the day, they couldn't really get very good like takes and finishes and stuff like that. And mind you, we only have at most 81 block rating and bronze anchor and 76 interior defense. That's what we all three have on the court right here. So I'm telling you, I am a true believer in the fact that I think defending the paint is a lot easier than people give it credit for. But those 3 tips that you have to keep in mind. Watch the catch and runs. Do not play them so freaking high to the point where you just give up an easy catch, run, dunk for 2 free points and they don't even have to have any skill in it involved. You have to take away people's drive first. It's as simple as that. Make them shoot the ball. If they only go this whole game shooting 2 3-pointers and they had plenty of open attempts, it probably means they don't plan to shoot the ball contested very often. So make them. It's just very likely that they're not going to succeed at that. And you have to test their gangster a little bit is pretty much what I'm getting at. The second tip, I don't even know where we're at in the order of it, but second tip is, like I said, come out to them a little bit further. You cannot meet them at the rim and expect to defend them and actually like really execute that. And then the third tip is a mechanical one that I mentioned where you have to hold your Y button on those aggressive like block attempts, so to say. Definitely try it. I promise you, you're going to love it. It's going to change your game. It's going to make you defend that paint a whole lot better. And I highly suggest it. I even do it on rebounds as well. Like I do it on rebounds, block attempts, all types of stuff like that. So give it a try. I really encourage that. But anyway, I hope this video helped you guys as far as stopping slashers. I think it's really corny that people think I wouldn't make a video like this just because it'll hurt my style. At the end of the day, I think some people are crazy thinking these videos reach like 200,000, 400,000 people. It's probably gonna get like 10K views. Nobody's gonna see it. They're all gonna continue to say slashing is broken and brain dead and stupid. And I promise you, it's very easy to defend, to be honest with you. What's hard to defend is the little 6'1" point guards that have quick drops and they fade super hard and they're such a 3-point threat and then they just get freebie dunks. That's completely different than what I do. They're rim running, so to say, where they just take eight like 2-point shots and get 16 points off strictly quick drops, is nowhere near the same thing as what I'm doing right here, where I go 8 for 8 on mostly dunk meters or pick and rolls. That's completely different. It's obviously stupid to even compare those. So anyway, that's all video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all good stuff. Like always, tries 1 to 1,000 likes. Actually, we'll start to lower that requirement. 2,000 getting kind of crazy, but anyway, 1K likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put slash or put finish or put defend in the comments. Search ports made all the way through. Any of those will work. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys looking to me for advice on stuff like this. And I figure if anybody knows how to defend stuff like this, it would be someone that does it pretty often. Albeit, like I said, I can't really shoot the ball anyway, so I don't really do that style, but I do see the mechanics behind it, and I understand how to defend it as well. So I hear that a lot from my guards. My guards always tell me that they know how to defend guards because they do it, and they know inside the mind of a guard. I feel like I know inside the mind of slashers and stuff like that, and people who want to really look to the basket to score really well. So I hope this video helped, and if it did, like I said, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all that good stuff. Anyway, that's all for the video. Hope you all enjoyed. Take these, man. Peace.